There has been a lot of talk, and I mean a lot of talk, about the death of Destiny 2 lately. And as a player who has played Destiny on and off since Destiny 1, who's also put in over 10,000 hours of World of Warcraft since 2007, I think I have a pretty unique take on whether or not I think that Destiny 2 is really dying and gonna be shut down soon, or if it's actually gonna be moving forward. My point is that if we look at World of Warcraft's life cycle, we can kind of predict what might be happening with Destiny 2. Both games have heavily invested players with lots of collectibles, lots of gear that they have mined away and put into their banks. So I think it's safe to say that the dedicated and loyal players that play Destiny are very much like the same ones that play World of Warcraft. Warcraft players believe that the lowest player count of the game was during their expansion Warlords of Draenor. During this time, there was lots of accounts of players saying that this game was going to be dead. However, it didn't die, and the following year, Legion came out to save the game. That expansion was so beloved that people are still playing it today in the remix. However, if you played World of Warcraft back in the day, you know that this was just after a 10-year anniversary. The game had gone a little bit stale, there were some things inside of it that people weren't liking, like the player bases, but for the most part, there was still some hardcore gamers that was playing World of Warcraft. Now, my argument here is that Destiny 2 isn't dead. Yet. Destiny 2 is following in World of Warcraft's footsteps. Destiny is currently around its 10-year anniversary, the same that World of Warcraft was when they were releasing Warlords of Draenor. In the same vein of World of Warcraft, at their 10-year anniversary, they have just released an expansion that is not hitting well with their fans, and the player count is the lowest that it's ever been. However, World of Warcraft followed up with the release of Legion, one of the most popular expansions of World of Warcraft ever. It introduced mythics, demon hunters, and the return of loved characters, including Illidan Stormrage. And it finished out the storyline of the Burning Legion. Now, in this expansion, Destiny tried a lot of the same things that World of Warcraft did in Warlords of Draenor. Warlords of Draenor introduced a kind of player housing, but more so of your bases, as well as mythic tier raid content. Destiny, on the other hand, has also reached their lowest player count with Edge of Fate, which they also understood that things were getting stale, so they introduced Armor 3.0, which include tiered armors and weapons. These things the fans don't like. World of Warcraft pulled back on a lot of the things that they introduced that people didn't like. Destiny, we already see, is doing the same exact thing with the unstable cores and changing the portal around. With Destiny's new expansion, Renegades, on the horizon, I think that we can definitely see that Destiny is going to make the same kind of comeback that World of Warcraft did. World of Warcraft hit hard with Legion, which allowed so many players to come back, and it actually was a fun game to play. Destiny 2 is following the formula of long-term games. One of the